welcome to Weathersfield Proctor Library Storytime. I'm Glenna Coleman, Youth Services Librarian, and here's our library bear. Bear is so excited looking out the window. He has been waiting for snow for so long. And wow, was our first snowstorm quite the storm. He actually couldn't get out because he would have been lost. However, he has chosen a couple stories about snow. One is called Snow and the other is about skiing. So sit back and relax, bring a cup of cocoa, and we hope you enjoy today's story time. Our first story about snow is actually called Snow. This is one of my absolute favorite books about snow. This is by Uri Shulevitz. And I'm going to ask you at the end, what color was the town at the beginning? See if you can remember that question and tell me if there's a difference. Snow by Uri Shulevitz. And there's the main character of the story. All right, let me make sure I can hold these pictures up so you can see them. The skies are gray. The rooftops are gray. The whole city is gray. Then, one snowflake. Can you spot it in the picture? Right up here. It's snowing, said boy with dog. It's only a snowflake, said grandfather with beard. Then, two snowflakes. It's snowing, said boy with dog. It's nothing, said man with hat. Let's see if you can find the two snowflakes. Here's one. Here's the other. You might have to come to the library to borrow this book in order to see them. Then, three snowflakes. It's snowing, said boy with dog. It'll melt, said woman with umbrella. Can you spot the three snowflakes? One, two, three. A few snowflakes float down and melt, but as soon as one snowflake melts, another takes its place. No snow, said radio. No snow, said television. But snowflakes don't listen to radio. Snowflakes don't watch television. All snowflakes know is snow and snow and snow. Snowflakes keep coming and coming and coming. That sight should be pretty familiar to you at this point, shouldn't it? That's what we looked like last week. Circling and swirling, spinning and twirling, dancing, playing, there and there. Floating, floating, through the air, falling, falling, everywhere. And rooftops grow lighter and lighter. It's snowing, said boy with dog. The rooftops are white. The whole city is white. Snow, said the boy. Now, do you remember? I said I was going to ask you, what color was the city in the beginning? If you said gray, You were right. There's the city in the beginning. And there's the city in the end. Well, I hope you enjoyed Snow by Uri Shulevitz. We have another book that has to do with snow. And this is a rhyming book. I know everybody out there loves rhyming books. This book is called Learning to Ski with Mr. Magee. And this is by Chris Van Dusen. And we have perfect snow for skiing right at the moment. Oh, look at all those snowflakes on the end papers. Aren't they beautiful? Let's see what we can do here. Learning to Ski with Mr. Magee. One winter morning at 6:53, Mr. Magee and his little dog Dee woke to fresh snow and a beautiful sky and decided it's time to give skiing a try. Before we drive all the way up to Mount Snow, follow me, Dee. I know right where to go. Across from the house and just up the way is a great little hill with a view of the bay. We'll practice up there till we learn how to ski. Then we'll head for the mountain, said Mr. Magee. The dog looks pretty excited, doesn't it? A few minutes later, they came to a spot where nothing could get in their way, Magee thought. So we put on his skis, Dee hopped in the pack, and with poles in his hands and his dog on his back, he inched to the edge very, very slowly until his skis teeter-tottered, then started downhill. Not far down the hillside from Mr. Magee and just out of sight, there happened to be a curious moose. He was out on a search for the succulent sticks of the gray northern birch. Then he spotted a tree, the biggest he'd seen, on the opposite side of a gaping ravine. Well, if you got the word ravine, you are a good rhymer. That was a tough one. The moose turned around, and what did he see? Mr. Magee and his little dog Dee. The moose was so shocked, he stood frozen in fear, but Mr. Magee hadn't learned how to steer, and he knew very soon they were going to collide, so he called to the moose, "Would you please step aside?" Oh, how do you think that's going to turn out? But the moose didn't move. So Magee yelled, "Duck!" And that was the moment they ran out of luck. 'Cause while they were sliding right under the moose, the tips of the skis snagged a log of a spruce. Well, if you got the word spruce, you are a champion rhymer. In a flash and a flip, they flew over the log, tossing poor Mr. Magee and his dog head over heels straight into the gap. Uh-oh. When the ends of the skis came down with a slap. So there they were stranded, Magee and his pup, across a ravine 100 feet up. They hung there, suspended, not making a sound. When the moose came back, he looked all around. He didn't see Dee or Magee, but what's this? A bridge to the birch across the abyss. Well, if you got the word abyss, you're more than a champion rhymer. The moose took a step. He was steady and slow, but his weight caused the skis to sag and to bow. And when he looked down, his heart skipped a beat, for Mr. Magee was right under his feet. They popped in the air with a zip and a zing, and up like a rocket shot Dee and Magee. Oh, did I skip a page? Let me just double check here. Nope. Oh, I skipped some words. They were hard to see. With a snort, the moose leapt. The skis went spring. They popped in the air with a zip and a zing. There we go. That sounds much better. And up like a rocket shot Dee and Magee, landing feet first, just as safe as can be. Well, that was exciting, said Mr. Magee, but I'm not really sure we learned how to ski. I think that I might need a lesson or two. I think that perhaps it's the best thing to do. And when we got home, he said with a smile, we'll let someone else use the skis for a while. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed Learning to Ski with Mr. Magee by Chris Van Dusen. I am Glenna Coleman, Youth Services Librarian at the Weathersfield Proctor Library. Thank you for joining us for story time. Enjoy the snow. See you next time.